Full reaction video coming your way because Southampton look set to appoint Will Steele as their new manager. I'll give you my reaction and my thoughts to that in this video, and make sure you do get involved in the comments box below because I want your thoughts, I want your opinions, and I want you to debate it here on the Football Martin channel. Thank you all for tuning in. But before we do dive into this reaction video, if you love Southampton Football Club as much as I do, if you love football like I do, please do subscribe to the channel, because right now over 90% of you that are watching the channel are not subscribed, and that's a massive missed opportunity for the channel. To help it grow bigger and get it to more people, create a bigger reach, I need more subscribers, and I want to create more amazing Southampton content, and to help me land bigger guests and exclusive contents for every single one of you. So don't wait, make sure you subscribe to the channel right now and make this channel massive, because I've got some great ideas and I need your help to take it to the next level. Saints, well, they've been in extensive talks, according to reports today, with Will Steele, who has agreed to become the new manager of Southampton Football Club. It's yet to be announced. He wants to be closer to his girlfriend who lives in England. He's with a Sky Sports TV presenter. Is no stranger to who he's with, because if you go on his Instagram profile, you will see that he is with Emma Saunders, who works at Sky Sports. She's a presenter, reporter, a very good one as well. She's very, very good. There's some good female presenters around, but I've got to say Emma Saunders is absolutely superb. And I'm not just saying that because we have her boyfriend coming to work at our football club. I think she is absolutely tremendous. She went to university down in Southampton as well, so she has a connection here. She will know what this city is like, and there's no doubt that she would have been talking to him about the fan base here and what people are like on the South Coast, because it is a brilliant football club and such a good opportunity for him as a manager. And I spent all day today whilst working, watching podcasts and listening to different shows that Will Steele's been on. I've listened to a couple of interviews with people talking about Steele as well. And it is a very, very interesting appointment. The deal has been agreed. That's according to Jack Rosser. He's a very, very well-respected sports journalist. And he said the South Coast side hope to confirm in time for their final Premier League game of the season. They would like to have Will Steele in the stands for this weekend for our game against Arsenal. He won't obviously have anything to do with the selection or be manager on the day. That will be Simon Russ's final charge. Simon Negative Russ gets his last game as Southampton manager. The club have held talks, they say, with Danny Rohl. He has been the number one choice all along, from what we read and what everybody's saying. And the main journalists that are getting this information are all saying the same. I don't have any inside sources. All I can bring and react to is what I'm reading across the net and with these journalists. Rosser at The Sun went on to say that Rohl's been the number one choice for some time, but he wants more time to make a decision over his future. Is he not been 100% convinced by what he's seen? Does he think he can do better? There's still a compensation package that needs to be sorted with Wednesday, but all of it in the public domain. If you're a Wednesday fan, it would be very disrespectful. And I saw a lot of response from Wednesday fans. It's a little bit disrespectful to them. That needs sorting with them. He needs to get out of that contract, whether that's another club buy him out of it or he buys himself out of it, which I'm sure he won't do. He'll wait for another club to do it. But he obviously thinks that he can do better than us, because if he was sold on us and wanted to become our manager, if he's our number one choice, he would be the manager of our football club. So he clearly doesn't want it. So if he doesn't want it and he's not sure on it, for me, I want somebody that really wants the job, that is really bought into us and not thinking about the next job already. Like, he's already thinking he can do better. So move on. Like, he's done really well with Wednesday, mid-table finish with a limited budget. Will Steele, on the other hand, a manager that's done really, really well in France. He's been managing a team with a limited budget in one of the top French league, playing against the likes of PSG. He's a good manager. He's worked on a limited budget. He's a bit of an unknown, and there's this like lazy reporting you see, football manager to manager. Look, I think Alfie Howe summed it up perfectly well on Total Saints podcast. Go check out last night's edition, because I thought Alfie nailed it actually really, really well, and he's spot on with his comments. And look, we've all enjoyed playing Football Manager, FIFA. And there's people I know at my age now, 42, that still really enjoy Football Manager. So it's a lazy assumption. He played Football Manager and loved the game. He was never a professional footballer. And if you look, he was a decent player, but he wasn't good enough to play professional football. And he wanted to work in the game. That was his goal when he was at school. He wanted to be in the game, but he knew he couldn't be a player. He did look to become a physio, hated it, didn't like it, didn't enjoy it. But he really wanted to work in the game. And then he got approached by a club, or I think he approached a club to see if they had any work. This was back in Belgium. I watched a podcast on it. Can't remember the club's name. And he wanted to do some work with the club. And the manager of that club said, well, we're playing this team on Friday. We want you to go away and analyse the opposition and create a video and come back and present it. He did it. He analysed the team, come back and presented it. And they loved what they saw. And he kept on doing it. And he kept on doing it until he got an opportunity to work as an assistant manager. And before you know it, he's become a manager. And he's learned very, very quickly. He became a manager at 24, did Will Still. It's quite the rise. I've watched a podcast with him today, and I recommend any Southampton fan that's got a spare hour and 20 minutes to do it. High Performance with Jake Humphreys is absolutely superb. They sit down, him and Damien Hughes, with Will Still, and they have an in-depth conversation. It's from a year ago, but it will give you a very clear idea of where he's come from and where he's got to. He's super intelligent. There's no doubt about that. He is a super, super intelligent man. He's not egotistic. He doesn't seem arrogant. And I think he has a real nice aura around him. I think he seems like one of us. And that's what my big takeaway was today. I thought, do you know what? If you sat and had a coffee with him, I tell you what, he'd be a really, really knowledgeable man to sit and talk to. I was super impressed by High Performance. I watched him on Monday night football with Dave Jones and Jamie Carragher a month ago. And anyone can talk well on TV. It's easy to go on TV and talk well if you're illiterate and you know what you're talking about and know your subject. But I enjoyed hearing about the way that he sets his teams up. He wants to be defensively really sound, and he wants his teams to play a certain way, but he's flexible. I think for any of us that are Southampton fans, we want to see a manager that is flexible. He's good with young players. He's got a reputation for bringing them through. He spoke about his 3 non-negotiables actually on the podcast with Jake and Damien Hughes, and he said his first one was to enjoy it and be yourself. His second one was commitment, and his third non-negotiable was honesty. And he wants players to be open and honest with him. So he gets close to the players, and if they think something shit, I want them to tell me. But also, he said, I will tell them if they haven't been good enough. So I think he's clearly able to deal with egos. And I like the fact that he's prepared to change to win games. And he said it's about winning games. And sometimes you have to play a different way and look at different personality you're playing against. I'm not sure if there's a way of finding that Monday Night Football clip. If you've not seen it, it is well worth looking at and well worth watching, because I thought he come across really, really well. Jonas Spors said at the start of this process of finding the manager that it would be a young progressive manager, someone that they can develop and work with. And he fits the bill, doesn't he? It's him or Rohl. They both fit what we're looking for. This guy's just really young, 34 years old. I think, more I've listened to him and more I've researched him, more journalists I've listened to today, I actually think he'd be a better choice than Rohl. That's how I feel at this moment in time. And like a week ago, I was asked on a show about it, and I was like, I'm 50-50 on it. I'm not sure about this appointment. I think it's a bit of a gamble. I think Rohl would be the safer option. And do you know what? I think either whoever you bring in is a gamble. If you brought in Sean Dyche, it's a gamble. Even though he's been there, seen it and done it, still will be a gamble. And so would Rohl. So either way you're looking at it, it's great. It'd be great to get whoever in the door, and your manager is nice and early, which I think's great. I think it's important. But for me, you will need to be backed up with his staff. He wants to bring his staff with him, which will be important. I think we probably need to freshen things up within our setup. But he will also need the right people around him. And Jonas Balls is working tirelessly, from what they say, in building his team, his group that are going to work around him. So hopefully they can link with Still, and everyone can have the same vision from the owners to Spurs to the manager, that everyone become really aligned. So we all know what we want, the style of play we're going to play, the type of players we want, and that everyone's in agreements when they do it. And I think that's really important. And I think in football a lot now, there's a lot of clubs that don't get themselves aligned, and everybody within that organisation, the key people, have that clear way of thinking of where they want to go and how they want to go about their business. So I hope they're all aligned. He wouldn't be coming, I don't think, if it didn't feel right. But I'm excited by it. I'm really, really excited by it. They reckon this announcement's going to be before the weekend. It's in the latter stages now. They've agreed it. They just need to sort out to bring his staff. His brother works on his staff with him at this moment in time, and he wants to bring his staff with him, and rightly so. I think that's really important, to surround yourself with the right people. Russell Martin did that, and I think it's right that they back him with the staff he needs. Like any manager needs the right staff. Going back to Jack Rosser and that report that he's put out today, that story he's put out tonight, Tuesday. It's Tuesday the 20th of May today. It went out a couple of hours ago, and it said that Saints were reluctant to be waiting on Rohl. Still, at this moment in time, is not owed any compensation to get him out of his contract at Lens. It cannot be said about his coaching staff, which includes his brothers Edward and Nicholas. So they're going to have to do some work to bring them in, but you wouldn't expect it to be a lot of money by any stretch of the imagination. But it's a big move for Will Still. I think it's a really, really big move for him, and I think he'd be a really, really good fit. I'm looking forward to hearing more once has his first presser, whether that'll be this week before the week's out. Be interesting to see. He's already left Lens. Their last game was at the weekend. He's left there. He is ready to go. And I always thought it was important to get your manager in before the final whistle kicked on this season. And it seems like Saints want to do that. And I think that is brilliant by Spurs and the people involved. So all in all, I'm going to back him 100%. I'm excited by the appointment. I think his style will be more flexible than Russell. I think he has a different era around him than Russell. Though Russell played, but he didn't play at the great. He played at Premier League level. He played for Norwich. I think Martin was quite arrogant and quite stubborn in the way he went about things, and was a little bit sharp and a little bit cocky at times. I watched that podcast today on high performance, and I thought he'd come across really well. And there's another really good feature to listen to if you head over to X, BBC Sounds. There's a link through to an interview that BBC Radio Solent have done with a French correspondent who watches a lot of football in France, and he speaks about Still. Still is one of the most up-and-coming young managers around in Europe right now. We're about to land him. I think he will go on to big things, this guy. If he can get this right, and I think he will get it right, actually, I think it'd be really, really good. A lot of people talk about, how will he deal with a wet Wednesday night in Stoke or Blackburn? And this guy's managed against PSG. He's managed in not the Championship. He's managed in the top league in France. It's not a rubbish league. It's a good league. It's their best league of teams competing in the Champions League. He's managed at a high level. We're not talking about some sort of somebody that's coming through from League One. It's so different to a Nathan Jones appointment. And I think he has, though he's young, he's been working in the game for a long time. He's been 20, 24. He his first managerial job. He was doing all the analysts on analysing teams, and he's really worked hard to get where he got to. He didn't get paid a lot of money to start with. He was doing it because he wanted to get into the game, and he said thought he'd be depressed if he didn't end up working in football. Well, he's got his wish, that's for sure. And I think he seems really down to earth. He's got his own Instagram page. You don't often see that with Premier League and Liga managers and Bundesliga managers. You don't often see that. but he's got his own Instagram account. You can go and check it out. You can see a little bit about different clubs he's been at. You see a little bit of he puts a few personal bits on there. He's with Emma Saunders from Sky. He puts bits on there. So, look, I think he's a really young, dynamic manager. I think we should be excited about it. I'm going to back it, and I think he'll do well. I know your opinion might not be the same as mine, but I'm really open-minded, and I think it is a massive appointment, whatever you do. But we've got to be realistic of where we're at right now. We're in the Championship, and what you can attract and what you can bring in, and it'd be the same with players. But he wouldn't be coming if he didn't like the project and he wasn't sold on it, and they had a clear way they want to attack the Championship next year. But good news that this is going to be done and dusted before the season ends, and that's like they can plan pre-season and put together a really, really good pre-season. Right, give me all your thoughts in the comments box below. Like I said, we won't all agree. I know that for a fact. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel, like I said at the top of the show. Make sure you hit that subscribe button because, like I said, 90% of you plus are not subscribed, and by subscribing to the channel will massively help me grow it. And like I say, it will give me an opportunity to open doors to bring exclusive guests and names into the channel, because that's what I want to do. I want to bring some really cool content your way over this summer. I've got some great ideas, so make sure you subscribe to the channel, and if you're not a member, check out the memberships because you get some exclusive content as well, and first on some of the videos as well. Give me all your thoughts. Will Still looks set to become the Southampton manager in the next 24 to 48 hours.